Please rewind this cassette.
I'm going to be talking about the final trailer for Rise of the Skywalker, which premiered last night on television, and everybody's talking about it. Of course, everyone's debating the merits of this trailer and the merits of the yet-to-be-seen movie from Wonderkin J.J. Abrams. I just was thinking about this today before we get into this. Does anyone realize how fucking weird Return of the Jedi is? Like, as a kid, it was like my favorite. I loved it. And I think that's because it was weird. Because when you're a kid, you just like crazy shit. Not that there wasn't weird stuff in Empire Strikes Back. Like the Tauntaun thing where Han just pulls out a fucking lightsaber, cuts it open, and puts Luke in there to keep him warm. I'd rather die than be put in like the fucking intestines of this disgusting camel. Like, what do you think Luke thought about when he woke up? Like, I can't get the smell of Tauntaun off me. It's been a month, Han. But Return of the Jedi, right? So it starts with fucking Han Solo's at Jabba the Hutt's palace. Leia goes there. It's a giant worm slug creature guy. But she gets taken as like a fucking sex slave. So there's this thing where she's all chained up and shit. And this is just some elaborate plan that Luke has. Luke has this plan to let his sister get taken as a sex slave, I guess. While they sneak in, and then he fights a giant turd monster with teeth and kills it by with a rock, like it chokes on a fucking rock, and then there's like a giant vagina hole that he's gonna get thrown into. Then Leia chokes the giant slug monster with a chain. Then they have to go to a planet of fucking teddy bears, and these like little savage evil teddy bear creatures. And there's a second Death Star under construction. All of this is so fucking strange. Like, what a strange storyline. And then Luke is fighting Vader and everything. He doesn't just cut this old evil guy who's sitting on a throne's head off. This, like, old nursing home motherfucker who shoots lightning out of his fucking fingertips. He just, no, I have to fight my father and emotional stuff happening. Oh, drama. And then the teddy bears, like, defeat the Empire. They blow the second Death Star up. And then Vader takes his helmet off, and he's just this, like, crusty, like, freakish-looking being. And then Luke burns his father on Endor, and everyone's partying. Like, I love it. Everyone around them is like, yay, we won, while his father's on fire. They just party over this burning corpse. Like, do they smell the burning flesh when this is happening? Weird movie, man. Anyway, let's talk about Rise of the Skywalker. What the fuck, JJ? You know, I don't blame him, because what do you do after Last Jedi? Last Jedi killed any story momentum this trilogy had. There was a little bit of momentum with Force Awakens, but every decision Last Jedi made, because it's convoluted. People who defend this, I just don't get them at this point. Kylo Ren's a convoluted character. You just like Adam Driver, the actor. You don't like the fucking character because there is no character. He's good, he's evil, he's good, he's evil. Even in this trailer, he's fighting Rey. And then he's fighting with Rey, because fuck it. I was even thinking, wouldn't this trilogy been better if Kylo had been the main protagonist and Rey was the bad character? Like, if she had kicked his ass at the end of Force Awakens, but she was the evil, you know, spawn of the Emperor, and Kylo was the son of Han and Leia, but he got, like, his ass kicked by this woman with, you know, just crazy Force abilities. That would have been cool. Plus, Daisy Ridley would just be better at being evil, because she doesn't have the charisma to be a lead where Adam Driver does. Like I said, people like the actor because the character Kylo Ren makes no fucking sense. He's got a personality disorder. That's his character, that he's mentally ill. But what's JJ supposed to do? I mean, where Last Jedi ends, there's so much storyline wrapped up. Like, the fucking First Order won. I mean, the rebels are done. There's like 30 of them at the end. Like, but a little kid grabbed the broom lightsaber so he can fight too, because everyone has the Force now. Rian Johnson saved Star Wars by killing it. JJ should have just stayed with the whole trilogy, so at least it was coherent. But this trailer, what's interesting about it is that it's just a collection of images and music. We still have no idea what the fucking story is. There's no sense of plot or anything. Like, you can have a mystery with Force Awakens. Even Last Jedi, you could have some, but we got a sense what the storyline of Last Jedi was. Like, okay, Rey is training, and they're fighting the First Order, and these things are paralleling, and then we're going to get to a climactic thing with Snoke and Rey and Kylo. I don't know what the fuck this movie is. Like, and it's just going off nostalgia balls again. It's just like, look at all the beautiful images. Every image is filled with so much complexity. It's like, look how beautiful this all is. We're gonna play the John Williams music, and they go for this sentimental moment with 3PO that's just makes no sense. But I'm gonna watch the trailer right now, and we're gonna break this down. So you see Rey running through the fucking woods, throwing a helmet on the ground. This looks very Force Awakens. This looks very much like Force Awakens, and then some weird, like, Jungle Book Tarzan shit, and Finn talking. It's an instinct, a feeling. The Force brought us together. I don't know why I'm talking to Finn that way, like he's some old guy. I'm sick of all these things of Rey running fast and all that shit through the woods. She looks fucking ridiculous. Oh, Rose Tico. Our good old Rose Tico. She's back too. Nice looking CGI and special effects. But that goes without saying. Although I really don't like the look of this movie. It seems like too many. Kylo walking through the fog though, like covered in fucking the water, and he's got the lightsaber now. He looks and all that. These images. It's like, look how beautiful this movie looks. Look at this $250 million movie, and I'm like, yeah, it does look nice. This is attractive. Like, oh, look at all the starships in the sky. This looks actually a lot better than Last Jedi. People talk about how beautiful Last Jedi was, but I actually think Abrams' style looks a lot nicer with these movies than Rian Johnson's did, personally. Like, but there's this part with 3PO coming up here where he's like, what are you doing there, 3PO? Taking one last look, sir. And then he pauses, at my friends. When did he become friends with any of these people? Like, I've never seen 3PO hang out with Poe, Finn, or Rey. They barely hung out with each other. They barely fucking did anything. They did nothing. Like, he sort of has some scenes with them in Force Awakens. I barely remember him registering in Last Jedi. And he's like looking, if they'd actually done this trilogy properly and it had been about Han, Leia, and Luke getting back together, which is what everybody wanted, and then 3PO saying that would be really emotional. But this is just, once again, it's forced nostalgia. It's this manipulative bullshit. Like, here's 3PO, a character you love, saying, alas, look at my friends, and he's looking at you, the audience, because 3PO is your friend. It's meta, get it? But you don't feel anything. That's the thing with this trailer. I don't feel anything. I remember being excited when I watched Force Awakens trailer and excited when I watched The Last Jedi trailer. When I watch these trailers, I don't feel anything. I don't feel a tone. I don't feel an emotion. I don't get humor or anything like that. It's just, it's like the most cynical J.J. Abrams product has ever felt. Like, it's everything about his mystery box, his trying to be Spielberg, all of that stuff. Like, this is the Super 8 trailer, but like everything diluted down to just its pure essence of just, you're seeing this for what it actually is. And then somebody was telling me he was building the whole movie around deleted scenes with Carrie Fisher, which sounds like an awful fucking idea. And now there's all these extended reshoots trying to fix the movie, because I'm sure it was a fucking mess, because how do you write a screenplay that follows The Last Jedi? Because it was a fucking mess. Then you see a shot with them running down a hallway shooting a bunch of people. It looks like it's going to be like one long shot. Like, I get a vibe from this trailer that Abrams is just going to try to make this like an action movie, a special effects like bonanza, a spectacle to make up for a lack of story. Or like, that's what Force Awakens got on with that it was like a chase movie, that it had this momentum that they were running from the First Order, and they had BB-8, and that's what the movie kind of never slows down. Where Last Jedi has this laborious pacing. But this movie, it looks like he's going back to that. Like, it's going to be nonstop action scenes, set pieces, running, chasing, shooting, stabbing, what have you, fist fights. Like momentum to make up for a lack of story or investment in the characters. These are just going to be huge set pieces. Oh, Reylo. See, then there's the part here, yeah, where Kylo and Rey, like, kill a guy together, and it looks like that shot from Tron Legacy where the dude gets taken out by the disc. It's a statue, I guess. And Kylo has this mask back on, even though he's not wearing a mask for most of the movie. And then Palpatine and the throne. And then Luke saying the Force will be with you always, which is a very generic line at this point, nothing new. Yeah. I mean, nothing new here. This looks like everything Force Awakens did except just excess of more. And I still have no sense of what's going on. And people are like, we need to go see the movie. It's not like the movie's going to have this beautiful, imaginative, great, creative story that's going to fix everything. You can't fix what's already been done. But what I really don't like about this trailer is that it does just lean on the spectacle with the music. It's lazy in that way. just trying to get by on that solely, and then to lean on the 3PO thing because they just don't have many characters to pull out anymore to make you nostalgic, because they know you don't give a fuck about Poe, Rey, and Finn. Think about it. In any other movie, like let's say an Avengers trailer, they would show scenes with Thor or Tony Stark or Captain America to hype you up, lines of dialogue from them. They don't do that in this trailer because they know these characters are not iconic. None of them. Kylo Ren's probably the most iconic out of them. Not even probably, he definitely is. But there's nothing about, so like when they say a line, it's because you don't know their personalities. It's not like Finn or Rey could say a one-liner in this, and you'd be like, oh, that's Finn, that's my guy. Oh, that's Rey. There's no the levity. Like Rey is a humorless character, and so that's oh my god, Daisy Ridley always just looks so fucking bored. Why can't she act? I really wish she could. Like, I don't want to hate on her, but wow, is she generic. Especially when everyone else's act, like Adam Driver and Oscar Isaac and John Boyega are just far superior actors in every scene. And you can see that even just with their facial expressions that Daisy doesn't have, how limited she is. And just so many of these shots, she looks at Chewie in the Falcon and smirks at him. I've seen this before. I'm not nostalgic about seeing them in the Falcon. I don't care. It's a clinical tone that was established by Abrams, and Johnson didn't fix it. So there's no, that's what I feel like this is going to be such an emotionless film, a weightless film. Like you're going to be watching it and going through the motions of the story and seeing the characters, but you're not actually going to feel anything. That's like my theory on how this film's going to play out, is that you're going to be watching it and it's going to be an exercise in what Hollywood movies have become. You're going to be going through the motions of it, almost the way a Zack Snyder film is like, but you're going to be sitting there just like bored. You're gonna get bored the whole time and not care, because these aren't characters. There is no overarching plot line. They're just throwing the Emperor in there. This was not established in the first film or carried through in the second film, so this all feels random. It doesn't feel like a sequel. It just feels like a new random thing happening. And this could just be a separate movie that doesn't even tie into the previous two. I don't feel the connection to the previous two, so it all ultimately just feels empty. And that's what sucks about it. And that's, I just don't see, it doesn't mean that Abrams won't make a fun, entertaining action blockbuster. I'm not saying that that's not possible. But it would be a miracle if I somehow gave a shit. And I'm always going to get those comments when I do this. Well, you're just cynical. Don't watch it if you don't like it. Don't talk about it. You're a hater. No, it's what it is. I'm not being a fucking hater. It's what the fuck it is. It's what this trilogy has become. It's what this is as a product. It's how this comes across. Like, if you're actually watching these clips in this trailer and getting emotional when you see like Rey and the Falcon with Chewie, then I don't know, man, you've lost the fucking narrative. You're just so easy to please. You don't care. You have no fucking standards. And you're mad that some of us have some sort of standard, or that we're upset that this whole thing's been a mess. I'm sorry that I care. I guess what you're saying is don't give a shit. Because that's all I'm going to... Don't give a shit. Just let it happen. Consume product, be happy, and wait till next product comes. Alright, fine. I am going to go see this movie. I'm going to talk about this movie. And if it's shockingly good, because people are going to say, you're going to go in hating it. Not true. If it's got good elements, I'll say good things about it. I did the exact same thing for Last Jedi. I talked about things I liked about the movie. I didn't just hate on it. But as of right now, this trailer is really the worst of the bunch, for the simple fact that the movie, this was the one that really could have been like, let's sell the movie here. Let's show you what's really going on. Let's really bring it home. And it feels like they don't have anything. It really feels like they have nothing to offer. And I'm scared of sitting in the theater watching this. I feel like I'm going to have a rough time. And hey, if you love the new trilogy, if you think Rey, Kylo, and Finn are amazing characters, and Poe and all that, and you love the Falcon, I'm not shitting on you, dude. Like, cool, enjoy it. But I'm over it. I'm over it, and I'm ready for this trilogy to be done so we can move on to new Star Wars stuff like Mandalorian and all that. That might actually be good. Like, fuck these characters. Fuck these sequels. Hopefully everyone dies at the end. Every single main character dies. That's my hope. Oh my god, it's amazing!